Okay, great. Well, welcome everyone to our October CTA webinar. My name is Alex Chan with USTA Mid-Atlantic Section. I'm the Associate Director of Community Services. We've been running these webinars every month this year, and we're hoping to finish out this year with two more webinars, but we're looking for some speakers. So if you're interested in presenting on a topic that you feel comfortable sharing with the rest of the group, feel free to contact me. Or if you just have a topic that you would like us to discuss, we can also work on that as well. And for speaking, you will receive a Tennis Warehouse gift card, which I don't think I told Ronnie yet, but yeah, Ronnie, you're gonna get a gift card from Tennis Warehouse. And for everyone that's on, and everyone that's on this webinar live, you'll also be putting a raffle for a $25 gift card to Tennis Warehouse. Yeah, that said, I want to introduce this month's speaker, which will be Ronnie Goodall. He is the Arthur Ashe Children's and Programs Director and West Campus Program Manager for the Washington Tennis and Education Foundation over in Washington, D.C. And he's going to share what they're doing in the schools and some best practices, and can help answer some questions for you all. So Ronnie, welcome. You can go ahead and introduce yourself. Yep.
All right, thanks, Alex. And that gift card's a nice touch. I always like free gifts.
Yes,
so.
I know.
Well, if you don't know me, I'm Ronnie Goodall. I'm with the Washington Tennis and Education Foundation. I've started with them since 2018. And previous to that, I've had a really good career with the U.S. Tennis Association, the Mid-Atlantic section. So glad to be here this afternoon.
Great. Now we can go and get started if ready. Yep.
Okay, so let's go to the first page, Alex. So we have, I want to give you a overview of our organization and some of the key points before talking about our school outreach program and what we do with that through the Arthur Ashe Children's Program. But you can see our mission. We always just shorten it and we say that we want to build life champions. We want to take youth from serving within underserved communities and working with them at the academic and tennis level. So our key thing is to build life champions. And in part, we use a character development curriculum that we've got from the USTA and expanded it to our own sources as well. Okay, we can go to the next one. Okay, so usually we talk about when we're working with corporations, government entities, and foundations, and working with them to give us money and provide funding. These are some of the things that we talk about. Why WTEF? Education, you can see some of the, we have some stats. Now, some of these stats are pre-pandemic, and we wanted to give you information like when we're in normal programming situation. But you can see some of these stats pre-pandemic, and we're about halfway between what we were doing before the pandemic and now. So we're still, as far as what we can produce and what we're doing, I think I'm really happy and proud of what WTF is doing so far and trying to maintain. So you can see percentage of African-American students on grade level or higher in math and reading. Then we get to the physical fitness, rank among states. We talk about the rank, and these are just key things that we talk about when we're talking to key decision makers and doing our grant applications and different things like that. After school programs, which we have two major after school programs. It's the Center for Excellence, which is at our East Capitol site. And we have our school outreach, which is our Arthur Ashe Children's program, where we go into the schools. Okay, we can go to the next one. So yeah, the out of school programs, we talk about the research shows and the benefits provided. Again, these are things that we want to highlight when we're talking to decision makers and when we're trying to work with schools to allow us to come into their schools and to allow us to pick up the kids to bring to our Center for Excellence site where the school programming happens at the site. Currently, we are back in the schools at a somewhat limited basis, but we're rebuilding and we're getting back to hopefully where we were pre-pandemic, where we have our Center for Excellence, where we would pick up the kids after school from the schools and bring them to our East Capitol facility. But that's been curtailed or stopped right now. We are hoping to get that back in play where we're bringing the kids back to the schools. I won't bore you with all these different stats and things like that, but just wanted to give you a brief overview. We can go to the next one, Alex. Okay, so these are pathway of programs. So you can see our authorized children's programs. Well, first of all, WTF was founded in 1955, but you can see our core programs for what we do at WTF. And I always kind of say Washington, well, I always thought about Washington Education and Tennis Program, almost renaming and flipping our acronym, because the education, the academic part is the most important part to us. I mean, we love tennis.
All right.
Okay, so let me go back. Sorry about that. Okay, so let me go back to where we were. I mean, where we had stopped. So we talked about the Authorized Children's Program, where we it's 4 days a week, 2 hours each day, and we usually will have tennis programming on 2 of the days, could be Mondays and Wednesdays, and then the academic enrichment programming on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We go into the schools, we hire the teachers who are already in the schools to work the after school programs with us, and our coaches go out to schools to provide the programming. Our Center for Excellence is one of our core programs also, which is mainly at our East Capitol facility. And that's been here for 19 years and provides for grades 1 to 12, grades 1 to 12, children with intensive academic and athletic program. We annually serve approximately 100 students. The AACP normally annually serves between 150 and 175 students. CFE College Prep and Career Center program, that is more so coming back into play, but we provide academic, tennis, and life skills for grades 5th to 12. And we're also currently working with the Windward Academy and the USTA Foundation. The Windward Academy through the USTA Foundation to provide SAT, ACT, and math prep. So that's one of the things. I think if there's other NJTLs on this call, this is one of the bonuses that we get for being an NJTL, because providing this college prep, SAT and ACT, that is something that we really needed help with, and it's a luxury. It's a really privilege to have a class organization like the Windward Academy to help assist and work with our kids that need that help.
Hey, Ronnie, I was going to ask a little more if, because that is a very fairly new program. If an NJTL wanted to do that, what's the steps and what was their process like when you were working with them?
Well, they had a pilot program last year. This year, they had several calls and they asked which NJTLs would be interested. So we had to complete an interest form, and then because they were accepting a certain amount of NJTLs, this first year I think they couldn't offer it to every NJTL, but they wanted to offer it to a select number of NJTLs that showed interest. And then we did a brief application, And once you've done the application, if you were accepted, the program started like a week or 2 weeks ago. So I think that if someone else, there still may be room. I'm not sure if they are at capacity, but if someone wanted, if you wanted your organization to and your NJTL to be a part of this, then you can contact the USTA Foundation staff, and I'm sure that they will give you the next steps and say if they have room or not, and have you go through the process.
Okay, so I guess just to kind of follow up on that is how does it actually work? Is there someone from Wynwood that they do like a virtual or something?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So yeah, there is Wynwood Academy coordinates it and runs it, and they have the students. They get the students, of course, from the NJTLs. The students sign up, and they register, and they go through a curriculum set by the Wynwood Academy. Number of hours that the kids have to do, that's all set in advance. They do the monitoring, but I think from each NJTL, they have at least two, I think our exact titles might be teachers or tutors. I'm sorry, tutors. So we are a part of that as well. But the main show is run by Wynwood Academy, by their professionals who are who implement the SAT, ACT, math, prep work, and all that kind of stuff. So it's mainly run by them, the professionals, and we work with our kids to make sure that they are attending. We might have to do some counseling as far as the hours they need to do and different things like that. But the Wynwood Academy mainly handles it.
Nice, nice. All right, thanks for sharing. And so, yeah, for anyone that's listening, Ronnie would be a good person to chat if any questions about that.
Yeah, it's much needed. I think, especially for, I mean, you think about the younger youth, and a lot of focus sometimes is on 10 and under tennis, and then the kids grow up and they become teenagers. And then, sometimes I think that they might be, the light is not shining on them anymore. But, we want to follow the kids all the way through, 10 and under tennis, all the way through their high school graduation. And then when they become college, and then when they become young men and women, because they could come back and we could recruit them to help us with our programming. And we want to make sure that overall their careers that we set them up. Especially at WTEF, we want to build like champions, and we really care. We really care to see that the kids are flourishing from, from elementary school all the way through their adult lives, at least those years from college and thereafter. All right, so our summer program. Now, WTF, we have two campuses, but our main campus and where our main mission happens is at our East Capitol facility, which is in Southeast DC at 200 Starter Place Southeast. We also have programming up at our West Campus, which is where I am now at our Rock Creek Tennis Center. But I'll go into that a little bit more. But our summer program, we have a 9-week program. I think this year was 10 weeks. But we have it at our East Capitol facility, and we have it here at our West Campus facility. Oh, by the way, at our East Capitol facility, all of our programming is free at no cost, and we typically serves wards 7 and 8. Those are parts of DC. 2 wards in DC, 2 of the 8 wards in DC that we serve, but we serve more than just 7 and 8. But that campus focuses on working with kids within underserved communities, and especially within those wards. We have tennis tots and community programs. All of this, we're getting back to it, where we are offering everything again at site. Our sites are open. We're taking people in, and we have senior programming. I'm trying to move one thing out the way again. Okay, got it. Yeah. Free senior adult children's lessons for residents Ward 7. We fitness classes and equipment. We have a community center that a lot of the organizations, nonprofits, we let them use to have their meetings and things like that. And we have indoor courts at our East Campus facility, where we have a partnership with Howard University and their team. And I think UDC is coming aboard where they can have their practices and where they play their matches. I'll go to my
Nice.
slide.
So, I was going to ask, like, so some of those programs you're running are free, and there's no cost to the program. I guess, how do you all, how are you all able to run those programs like free while still keeping in mind like the costs and everything?
Yeah.
So
So that's through major funding from corporate, governmental, and foundations, grants, grants to USTA, grants to UST Mid-Atlantic, grants, large grants through foundations like the K-Fritz Foundation. Excuse me. And there's another big one, but we were able to secure, and knock on wood, that we will retain more of the grants that we have from these large donors. So, and up here at Rock Creek Tennis Center, our programs up here are fee-based, but the money that a portion of the money goes towards our providing the free programming at our East Campus.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm thinking. I think a lot of organizations, they do try to offer a free program if possible. I think a lot of times there has to be some fee to cover the expenses. So I was just kind of curious. And there might be some questions from others too. But when you're trying to decide on the fee, what are some of the factors that you have to consider when making those decisions on the fee?
What do you mean, the fee at?
Like, like a fee-based program, like how do you determine the pricing for that program?
Oh, well, okay, since the fee-based programming is only at our West Campus, we look at the other tennis organizations, what they charge, and we will look at, I think with our pricing, I think we're basically towards middle ground. It's not the highest, it's not the lowest, but we wanted to take account for, that we have our community members and kids all around DC that might want to attend our programming here, but we try to make it as economical and as affordable as possible, because we know that with tennis, it's a sport that, the better you get, to me, the more money you're probably going to have to spend with tournaments, coaching, private lessons, clinics. All of those weigh into how we think about setting our prices. So when we take that into account, I think we are middle-based with our pricing.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, so I thought this was a helpful slide. The 6 indicators of a high-quality program. Now, we have, for our organization, we have a grants manager who puts all this information together for us. Don't think for 1 minute I put this together myself. We got this from our grants manager who is highly skilled in getting our information out there and promoting our program and talking to those key decision makers and getting funding, securing funding for our programs. But if you look at the 6 indicators, you have appropriate space, which we are very fortunate to have the facility at the East Capitol campus, 9 outdoor courts, 6 indoor courts, educational wing, and all of that. Staff engagement, highly very much focused on our staff and making sure that we meet our needs are met while working and delivering the best programming possible for our customers and our clients. Quality homework time, after school programming, 3 to 7 normally, and you just can't come and play tennis at WTF. You have to, part of it is homework assistance, tutoring, doing other academic enrichment programs at our East Capitol facility. Challenging activities, not only through tennis, but we have robotics and other different things for kids to be exposed to and to be challenged. Our robotics program is just one piece of it. Youth engagement, and the last one is family relationships, which is very much key. Working with the families, making sure that they are kept up to the pace with what we're doing, making sure they're involved, so we can make sure that their kids are involved. WTF equals high quality programs. Next one. Okay, here is our the adequate space. So this is an overview shot of our East Capitol campus, where you can see the 9 outdoor courts, and you can see the facility where I have my arrow. It looks like a C. When I first went there, it looks like a CIA facility. But this is where we have our 6 indoor courts, state-of-the-art indoor courts, educational wing, offices, community center. It's all there. And we're located in Ward 7. And 100% of the students enrolled are from Wards 5 through 8 for our Center for Excellence programming. And they also come back year-round programming that they also come back for our summer school programming. So you can see we provide a safe haven for children and youth during the critical after-school hours. Kids need things to do in the afternoon. I mean, there's very much, we don't want them to live a sedentary lifestyle. We want them to be active. We want them to come to the center, play tennis, finish their homework, get tutoring, become better, just build them. We're building their skills. Let's see. And well, you can see we also host a number of other activities. Where you can see USTA adult leagues, the Washington Tennis Association pretty much holds all at least 60–70% of their leagues at our center, indoors and outdoors. I think they like our center because we have the indoor backup. So we always work with them to provide them the indoor court so they can have their programming or their leagues rain or shine. We do youth and adult tournaments. We have adult ladders, and these are all revenue generating at our East Campus. But these are programs that are in addition to or outside of our programming that we offer at our East Capitol campus, where we don't charge. But these are another revenue streams where we can create revenue, and part of it goes toward providing that free programming for the kids.
Nice. Ronnie, we have a question from Paul. He was wondering, how does the WTEF's program compare to programs at the Southeast Tennis and Learning Center?
Well, I think we are I'm familiar with Southeast Tennis and Learning Center. I would say that both our organizations are somewhat similar in how we want to reach those youth within underserved communities. So we're very similar in that effect. Then we also are very similar in some of the academic enrichment programming that we do. We both offer a plethora of academic and enrichment programming. I think we're very much the same that way. I would say the tennis part of it, where we have our tennis program. I would say that I think we, not trying to brag, but I think we're number one in that respect. So I think we both have very good programming, but I think we are the leader. I don't know if that helps, Paul. Is that Paul Rosenbaum or
Yes.
what Paul is
Yes.
that?
Yep.
That's my buddy, Paul Rosenbaum. Okay. I hope that answers your question. Okay, let's see. Okay, so the West Campus, where Paul helped us to get one of our new revenue streams in. Okay, so our West Campus revenue generating programs and partnerships, all of this is fee-based, and we really look at trying to, we wanted to, since this facility here, I mean, it's a beautiful facility. It even looks even more beautiful when the city open is here. But we try to keep it up and have programming all year round. And we try to use the stadium court as much as possible. This is the center of the town, and it's a real easy place to get to. So parking, we got the space. It was built so the people are coming. But you can see some of the things that we do. We have clinics, year-round programming. Currently, we have our fall clinics ongoing right now. We have two main coaches, Coach Agat Balibi and Coach Matt Towns, and their team provide our afternoon clinics. That's a very good revenue stream. But we still focus on, even though everything is fee-based here and the youth don't have an educational component, we still try to build in character development things to work with them on and off the court. That was that first picture on your left. The center picture on the top is during the city open. You can see how the place is transformed with all the courts, all activities. And actually, it's a little bit different from that picture because this past year they built all the clay courts space was taken to have a player. What's I don't know the word I'm looking for. A player complex.
A player area.
Okay. Yeah. So, which I couldn't get into, but I wanted to hang out in there and play ping pong and everything else, but my badge wouldn't let me get into that part. Top right is a partnership with, I think it's strategic. You have to build up your partnerships. Even though we're a nonprofit, we're not just looking out for ourselves. We want to build the DC community, and provide services for everyone. And if that means partnering with another nonprofit, we want to do it. So we also, that top right picture is a picture of acing autism. We're working with them right now. They're actually, this Saturday is going to end their 6-week session that the acing autism group has been here on Saturdays from 10 to 12. And that was a great partnership. And we look forward and hope that we can continue that. We provided a space, very nominal fee for that space. We had a couple of kids from our organization volunteer, and we were really happy to open up our facility for acing autism. We believe that if you do something good for other people, it'll come back to you, and it's the right thing to do anyway. The picture at the bottom left picture, we think of fun things to do, and if anybody knows Star Foster, She's one of our coaches part-time, but she's mainly a coach elsewhere. That is a picture of Star on a tennis racket. That's a silhouette. Sorry. That's a promo picture for Coach Star's and her group Halloween Cup. That's going to be here Saturday, this Saturday. And she has, the kids will be out here from 2 to 5. They'll be dressed in their Halloween outfits, and they'll be held on our stadium court. So stadium court has a lot of room. If you want to come out and see the kids and see Coach Star and her team in action, it's an amazing event. And then the last picture, the bottom picture, we're really proud of our pickleball. We got a partnership with DC Pickleball Organization. And you can see how we transformed our stadium court to 4 pickleball courts. Now, I love pickleball, but someone came to me and said, well, are you guys going to be Washington Tennis Pickleball and Education Association now, or Foundation now? I said, no, it was a funny thing to me, but I love pickleball, and I think it's something that we can give, something for our parents to do, something for our kids to do. It's something for me to do now, since I can't. I'm still trying to cover the full court, like doubles a little bit more, but pickleball, I think I can cover that court. So, and that was helped through Paul Rosenbaum and Scott Miller, the introductions and our networking. But we're hoping to build that up and do more pickleball. But I'm actually looking to see if we can work with the National Park Service and having built 4 dedicated pickleball courts. And I think that is program. I won't go over the rest of these because I think that was just something that I just wanted to have more information for you. But you can see these are pictures of our students at different locations. We would do college visits. Hopefully that will come back into play. We miss all of that. But that we have besides the college visits, we're hopefully, we definitely want that to come back and play, and that will come back and play. But that's another thing where we're looking to make an impact with the students after they become, with our youth after they become teenagers and young adults. And that's pretty much it.
Okay. Yeah, I think thanks. I had a couple follow-up questions. If anyone else that's listening right now have any questions, feel free to leave it in the chat or the Q&A section for Ronnie. Ronnie, can you go back? I know you skipped it, but like if you go back like a couple of slides back to the program indicator slide, I was looking at. I thought that might be interesting for people to see if you have hit like a left, a click left, or exit. That's fine. That's click on 10. Click on number 10 on the slide, okay. and then hit from the current or well. Anyway, wait, that's fine. We can see here. We can see here. All right.
Slide. Come on.
Yeah, it works. All right. Okay. So this slide, I saw that there was some good stuff. I wanted to kind of talk more about staff engagement because I know that that had been a recurring, I guess, obstacle for a lot of programs where they don't have enough coaches to help them out, or they're just trying to hire more. People have some questions on how to get them trained or how to retain them. So I wanted to see if you can share some of your best practices for like finding coaches and retaining them as well.
Yeah, actually, well, pre-pandemic, it was a lot of networking, and you're working with, especially for our schools program, you network and you get the word out. We did Instagram, we did emails, and we went into the schools. It was a lot of referrals. going out into the schools, doing the meetings, meeting with the principals, and them referring teachers that are looking for part-time work, be it at the school itself or be it at one of our facilities. So that part, we still try to do that. That's still in play, where you got to get out into the community. You got to visit. For us, it was visiting schools. That's where we got our main source of employees from. The other thing, the employees will also would refer friends and family to us. So the retired, well, yeah, you can see a big thing for staff engagement for us, retired school teachers who actually have the time to come and work with us, or, you know, not just retired school teachers, but retired individuals in general, that they have more time, a little bit more time to work with us, especially during our after school hours. So I think that's, to me, the big part of it was networking and going into the community, going to the community centers. I think DC, we would go to, it was DC the centers for seniors where they would go to work out and do fitness and all those kind of things. So we would make visits there as well. For me, it was the league tennis connection through Washington Tennis Association. I would network and send out feelers and emails to those contacts. So that's where we got a number of our people, our staff from. But now it's a little bit more difficult. The seniors and the individuals that normally would work for us a little bit hesitant to come back now, and they want to make sure, they want to see things us take a little bit longer before they will come back, before they feel a little bit more comfortable.
Cool. And just to also follow up on that, when you have the coaches, or the people that are interested in coaching, how are they typically trained so that they're ready to teach the classes?
You know, for school tennis, I can say I took a lot of the school tennis and service paperwork and training with me from USTA. I took, you know, that research and development department that I call it. From research and development, it really came from USTA as far as the training. And then through Net Generation, the red ball, orange ball, green ball curriculums. I use part of that. We have some of our training, that's on the tennis side of it. The curricular development, some of it is from USTA, but some of it is from a new curriculum that we found through, it's called Overcoming Obstacles, and different things like that that we use. And then we still do, I can't remember, I think we did do, I forgot what, Alex, it was called, but the Net Generation youth workshops. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, like a community workshops.
Yeah, we had that. We had a couple of those come in, and we did those. But more recently, we had a God, I can't think of her name, but it's a young lady from Australia, Emily. I think her name is Emily. But we had a big training for that as well. I can't think of the exact name of it, but she came and did a training for us, 10 and under. Well, actually, it was like work with 10 and under kids and kids over 10, and it was a half-day training. And she also did a parent session, which was key. So after the training and training our pros and our coaches on court here at the tennis center, when the kids came in for their clinics in the afternoon, the trainers hung around and talked to the parents as well. So that was a big part of the training. And we also had, we work with the Professional Tennis Registry, PTR and USPTA, and they came in and we did a big pickleball training and certification. So we rely on our partnerships with the USTA, USTA Mid-Atlantic, PTR, PTA, and I wish I had that exact name of that group, Emily Doyle, who came in and did that training for us because it was amazing. But we try to have, we do annual trainings, and our new CEO and president, John Borden, he personally does trainings as well at our East Capitol campus.
Gotcha. I had another question, but I want Paul, your friend Paul, I was asking another question for you. Is the robotics program developing a robot that can play tennis?
One day, I know we got a future genius in there somehow, and that one day, right? Currently, no, but I'm sure that would be something that we would want our kids to aspire to. And I see. Oh, I'm just looking at these at the chat, and
Yes.
and Catherine, I think that you are amazing also. You know what? I miss part of it, and this networking and the connections and meeting people. And what do you call stealing ideas when you say research and development department stealing ideas? What was that acronym? It's something where you steal from other people, but it's polite stealing.
I mean, borrow.
No, it's a funny name for
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, R&D department. But anyway, I miss visiting and going to the other organizations. This is when I was at USTA, and I'm going down to Virginia and going and meeting people and working with people like Catherine and well, Paul Rosenbaum is here, but I was just watching this next ODU. Yeah, we met at ODU. Okay. So, but yeah, just traveling out throughout the section and meeting people. I mean, I've got a lot of training and a lot of ideas that I put in play through my networking and meeting with the different organization leaders throughout the DMV.
Nice. And what you just said, it's basically kind of one reason why we started doing these webinars too, because we wanted to still, we have a lot of great people in our section, and they have a lot of great ideas, and we're all trying to go for the same mission, to grow tennis in this area. So like this is a great way to share the knowledge with other folks and get some best practices from it as well. So but yeah, this is great. I was going to ask a question regarding school partnership agreements. I know recently you and I were working on that a little bit, but I'm not sure if everyone is aware of it and the benefits of it. So can you kind of talk a little bit about that? Like, how did that benefit you all, and what was it even?
Oh, well, okay, so you got school, I'm 2 levels, school partnerships. So we definitely have to have a school partnership with our DC public schools, where we serve, usually we will work with like 10 to 15 schools in DC to bring our after school programs and get the right to go inside those schools to deliver our programming. And we have to normally do a MOU, a memorandum of understanding. So that we had to get that in place first. But then when we're talking to these schools, the schools will basically, like when we come in and we say that we want to do tennis programming and academic enrichment programming at your school, they're like, well, what's the cost? What's the catch? And I was like, it costs nothing. And it's like, I can't be totally free. And I was like, yes, it's totally free. We have grants, we got money to do these kind of things, and we want to do it. So, they vet us. We had to go through background checks and different things like that. But we were running into a little bit issue as far as equipment. So, equipment, the tennis rackets we have, and some schools where we're currently at now, we have like 30 kids in one school. providing them. So currently we're serving 9 schools and 150 kids. And where we normally would serve close to 200. So I'm really proud of where we're at now and what we're doing. But you can imagine 150 kids, that's 150 rackets, you need the balls, you need the nets and things like that. So our school partnership, we worked out the school partnership agreement through USTA schools, USTA Mid-Atlantic, and each school that signs a school partnership agreement that will introduce tennis to their schools through PE or out of school time. We partner with them. They partner. It's a 3-way partnership. WTF, the individual school, and USTA Mid-Atlantic. And through that partnership, we were able to provide and keep it free programming, provide equipment as well. The schools, we have a couple more schools to have to complete that partnership agreement, but through that partnership agreement, they get that huge net generation bag. Yeah, I think it's even more this year, Alex, from what I saw from previous year. Is it like 30, right? How many rackets?
It's a $400 retail value for everything in there, but it's a big giant equipment bag that has wheels on it, and it comes with 30 rackets and several dozen balls, depending on which type of school you're working with. It's either red or orange balls, and although that will change the size of the racket too, depending on the type of school you're working with. And then there's chalk in there as well. I think they also include a hard copy of the like a red ball curriculum or something like that in there too. But this is something that, yeah, if you're a provider right now and you're already going to schools, it makes sense for them to go ahead and go through a school partnership agreement. And what that means is on the school side, it's usually the P teacher. They sign up to on a USA's Net Generation website to be to have a teacher's account. They put in their P program, like basically what they're doing that year for tennis and P. And then if they have a partner, like for example, like Ronnie for WTF will be a partner for their schools, they will sign off on the agreement, and then the school will be eligible to receive that package. It'll be delivered from our national office, should be shipped straight to their schools. And then, between your relationship with the schools, you can share that equipment. So that's what I would recommend is that, yeah, you work with the P teacher, say, hey, you can have this equipment during the in-school piece, and then let us borrow it afterwards. It's just a great way to get that additional help from USTA and support all the programs. And a last check or national on this to see if this initiative is still continuing. It's still good for next year. So it's always a chance that they might take it away, but as right now, this is one more popular option that we want to keep it going. So make sure you all take advantage of it.
Yeah, most definitely. It's an amazing package. And when the schools get this package, I mean, they can't believe it's free. They still are waiting on the back end that we're going to charge them something. But I guarantee you that you don't get charged. And we really appreciate the schools letting us come in to work with them and to work with the kids and to build tennis and to build their add to the academic enrichment activities that they do. So the package, I mean, because we're actually short on staff right now going into the schools. So I had to get out there myself and work with one of the schools. And I opened the packaged up, and I mean, they had red balls, they had the foam balls, they had the chalk. I think it might have been like 30 rackets. But I kind of miss going back out there. So, I mean, I think one of the key things with this community engagement and networking and things like that, if you can get the schools, I think is where it's at. If you start with the schools and you work with those principals and you just go out and meet with the principals, the teachers, or even if it's a phone call or an email, a virtual Zoom meeting, the schools really want this. And if you can provide this service, I mean, it doesn't have to be free, it can be a nominal cost. It's still something they want. I mean, sometimes we have to compete with something called flex academies. Right. And they took 2 of my schools and almost it was, so we have to compete with flex academies now, but I think they must offer a more wide range. When I talk to some of these schools, they say, well, flex academy is handling all our after school activities. But we're still, yeah.
I was going to say that there are, like, for those out there, there are some like after school management companies like Flex Academy. That's what they are. They come in. So from my experience, we work with like different schools. Sometimes they have the PTA or PTO that does the after school programming, and depending on the school, like some are stronger, some are weaker, and that's where there's benefit. Like this outsider after school management company can come in and provide that program. And yeah, when you said like if you can make it free, that's great. But I think a lot of parents also kind of expect that they have to pay something for an after-school program. So I wouldn't shy away from charging if you have to, because everyone here, we're providing tennis. It's not like it's not cheap. All the costs to run tennis programs. I think they understand that value. I think you'll find a lot of schools would be eager for tennis because it's not typically offered compared to like other sports, after school. So I wouldn't be afraid to charge. Of course, make it reasonable, but I think parents were they understood it. I think I found most parents understood why they charge. And they understand that tennis is more of an individualized sport, so it just requires a little more, training and stuff like that. But yeah, I guess one other thing I was going to mention, Ronnie, is all your after-school programs, are they free, or are there some that charge?
Everything. Well, for Authorized Children's Program, Center for Excellence, all of that is free.
Okay.
But our clinics up here at our Rock Creek Tennis Center, it's fee-based, but there's no academic portion here.
Gotcha.
And I see that Linda said that school systems have ESSER 3 COVID relief funds that can be used to buy portable nets to go along with the net generation equipment package.
That's great. Definitely great to know. I think that actually, I think I mentioned the net generation packages, they should include a reel of barrier tape, which you can use to make nets. But yes, like having that visual of a pop-up net does help with the program. So that's good information, Linda, for sure. I have to make like 2 more minutes. I want to make sure like we're conscious of time. But yeah.
Okay.
Was there any final things, thoughts that you want to share as a group before we wrap up?
Yeah, I think that your organization will do really good and promote itself, and to start have a solid foundation in working with the schools. And I know that I didn't know that Linda was on the call, but when I first met Linda, I remember the Gone Bananas, the Gone Banana things, and that was her big key model, working with the schools. So that's my thing. Work with the schools, network within that. You'll find everything.
Absolutely. I guess we'll have one last question from Paul. It's like, how many schools do you work with that have tennis courts nearby?
Oh, that's almost like, if I think up of schools now, Payne has a court right there at the school. Randall Highlands has courts at the school. So I would say a number of the schools that we work with, they pretty much have a court very much near them, or 2 or 3 blocks away that they can get to. Mm-hmm. But we mainly do the programming on the blacktop or inside.
Right.
Yeah.
I was going to say that too. Like, usually in my experience, not many schools have tennis courts available, and that's why they don't offer it. So I would say, yeah, like if they have a gym space indoors or blacktop outside, that's usually where it runs. I like the indoor space, the indoor gym space, because you don't have to deal with rain, or weather issues. You can just go into the gym and everything's self-contained in there. So, but no, there's definitely like schools. What you said, schools are very important. Like that's where the kids are. That's where they get a lot of first experience. So you can leverage that, doing it on site, because that removes a barrier of travel. Yeah, that's great, and then it can feed into your other program, like your fee-based programs and all that. So it's a definitely it's definitely a strong pathway.
Right, because AACP is usually 1st to 5th graders, and then they will go to our Center for Excellence programming, which is will go up to 12th grade, but it does provide a pathway. But we know, even though this fee based up here at 16th Street, my passion is providing free or very low cost programming to kids within underserved communities.
Great. Excellent. Well, with that said, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you again, Ronnie, for sharing knowledge. And if anyone want to reach out to Ronnie, I guess how best way to reach out to you is by email or
email, and my email is the best way, and my phone number. If anybody needs my phone number, I think everybody on this call has my phone number anyway, but it's easy to get my phone number. And I'm looking, when everything, hopefully we get back towards normal a little bit more quickly, or when we get back to normal, we still want to invite, if people want to come up and visit either one of our campuses, or we can do a team tennis event, team challenges. We love to host it.
Love it. Yeah, definitely. Any ways we can cross collaborate, partner up. That's what we're here for sure. All right. Well, again, thanks everyone. Like I said, we haven't for just to wrap it up. Next 2 months, we're trying to do at least 2 more webinars before the end of the year. It hasn't been set yet, but if anyone have any topics or would like to present, feel free to reach out to me. And then you have to mention at the beginning that for presenting, you'll get a $50 gift card to Tennis Warehouse, which I have right here for you, Ronnie. I'll get information for you to send to you. And then I'm going to do a raffle of a drawing, because of the people that are on here live for the another gift card. Yeah. Thanks again, everyone. I really appreciate your time. And yeah, have a good rest of your week. All right. Bye-bye, everyone.
All right, folks. Thanks.
Bye.